Hello, it's Nana again, and it's story time with Nana. Right now, we're going to read The Berenstain Bears Forget Their Manners. You know your manners, don't you? Please and thank you and you're welcome. Let's see. It says, please and thank you help quite a lot to make a polite bear out of one who is not. There was trouble in the big tree house, down a sunny dirt road deep in bear country. Trouble with manners. The bear family's trouble with manners was that they forgot them. Can you see that big page? Oh, look at them fighting up here, yelling at each other. Oh, Mama's not happy. At first, it was just an occasional please or thank you that was forgotten. Then there was a rude push without an excuse me. You see? They forgot to say please and thank you, and then he pushed her and forgot to say excuse me instead of pushing. Then a reach across the table instead of a please pass the broccoli. See the brother? He's reaching across to get the broccoli, and he didn't say please pass the broccoli. Mama Bear wasn't quite sure how or why it happened, but she was sure of one thing. Whatever the reason, the bear family had become a pushing, shoving, name-calling, ill-mannered mess. Look at that. See? And he's saying silly head, fuzz brain, noodle head. So silly. At the table, it was even worse. They were a grabbing, mouth-stuffing, food-fighting, kicking under the table, super mess. Oh my. Those children bears don't seem to be behaving very well. Of course, Mama Bear tried to correct Brother and Sister Bear's behavior. She tried coaxing. She tried complaining. She tried shouting. She tried going to Papa for help, though it sometimes seemed to Mama that he was part of the problem. Well, Mama's having a problem with the kids, with Brother and Sister Bear. Papa banged on the table and shouted only he could shout. But nothing really seemed to do any good. See him yelling at the children? They have to be good, but they're not listening. Mama didn't like what was happening to her family, not one bit. Something had to be done. But what? The best way to fight bad habits, she thought, was with good habits. Then she thought of a plan. She got a big piece of cardboard and a marker. At the top she wrote, "The Bear Family's Politeness Plan." Look at that, see? So you're getting the big board? When the plan was finished, she called a family meeting and showed it to Papa and the cubs. See, she's having a meeting. There's a sister and brother and Papa Bear. They're all listening to Mama Bear. It certainly got the Bear family's attention. It says, rudeness, forgetting please or thank you, pushing or shoving, interrupting, name-calling, reaching at table, playing with food. Oh, she has a lot of rudeness, and then the penalty for them. Oh, they have to sweep the steps, clean the rugs, dust downstairs. She has a lot of rules, which is good. Mama's plan had a list of all the rude things she wanted them to stop. Besides each one was a penalty, a job or chore that went with it. If you forget a please or thank you, you have to sweep the front steps. If you push or shove, you have to clean the rugs. If you got caught name calling, you had to clean the whole cellar. See that? There's the list and all the punishment, and this is them listening to what Mama said. But Mama sputtered the cubs. You're not being fair. It seems to me, she said, that you're the ones who aren't being fair to yourselves or anyone else. That's what manners are all about, being fair and considerate. Mama, manners are very important. They help us get along with each other. Why, without manners, your mama's absolutely right, interrupted Papa. Thank you, Papa, for your comment, but interrupting is number 3 on the rude list, and the penalty is dusting the downstairs, Mama said, and handed him the feather duster. Uh-oh, Papa interrupted Mama, so now he has to dust downstairs. Said Brother, this looks serious, and I think we better come up with a plan of our own, or we're going to be doing a lot of extra chores. What sort of plan? Asked Sister. Well, he said, instead of being polite, we'll be super polite. We'll please and thank you so much that Mama will get fed up and call the whole thing off. Yes, said Sister, we'll be so polite she won't be able to stand it. Do you think that's a good plan? I don't know. I think they should just be polite, right? Let's see what happens. They put their plan into action. They were super polite on the stairs. After you, Sister dear. Thank you, Brother dear. In the hall. Excuse me, Brother dear. Why, certainly, my dear sister. See them being polite to each other? Waiting for the bathroom. Terribly sorry to have kept you waiting. Think nothing of it, my dear. See? She's waiting to go in, and he was very polite when he came out, and so was she. But it didn't work the way they expected. Mama didn't get fed up at all. And after a while, Brother and Sister forgot about being super polite and were just polite. At the table, pass the honey, please. Certainly. In their room, would you like me to help pick up your toys? Thank you very much. See, they're helping each other now very nicely. In the yard, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to bump you. That's all right, no harm done. And it turned out that Mama had been right. Things did go more smoothly. Once they got into the good manners habit, they didn't even have to think about it. See? They're being very nice. And everything is going nice and smooth. But it wasn't so easy for Papa. He was the one who got fed up. It's a little harder to change habits when you're older. And he had to do quite a few extra chores for forgetting his manners. I'm glad to get out of the house, away from the politeness plan, he said, as he drove the family along the highway on a trip to the supermarket. Look at Papa Bear doing all the extra chores. You see him? Manners and courtesy are just as important away from home, especially on the road, said Mama, as they stopped at a stop sign to let pedestrians and other cars pass. They help us drive safely. See? Well, grumbled Papa, as they all went into the busy supermarket, I think you can have too much of a good thing. You've got to have common sense along with manners. Why, if you let everyone go ahead of you at the checkout, you'd be there forever. See? And sometimes you have to interrupt. Excuse me, madam, he interrupted a shopper, but I believe you have a leaking bottle in your cart. The shopper thanked him for his help. You see? She didn't know, and Papa had to tell the lady and had to interrupt, but he said, excuse me. You see, he said, driving home, there's more to life than remembering your manners. Besides, manners are all right for cubs and mama bears. See? Uh-oh. Bonk. Let's see what happened. But we Papa Bears have other things to think about. At that moment, the car in front stopped suddenly, and Papa bumped into it. He was furious. Why, that pin-headed fiddlebrain, he snarled. Name-calling, reminded Sister. See, they had an accident. The penalty for name-calling was cleaning the whole cellar. So Papa gritted his teeth and remembered his manners. And a good thing, too, because climbing out of the other car was the biggest, angriest bear he had ever seen. Uh-oh. Oh, boy, somebody's mad. Oh, and look at Papa Bear. Uh-oh. But when the angry bear saw how polite Papa was, he remembered his manners, too. He explained that he had stopped short because of a mama duck and her ducklings crossing in front of his car. Then he and Papa Bear looked at their bumpers and saw that no harm had been done. You see? See the ducks over here crossing? It says duck crossing. And he let the ducks go in front of him. As I was saying, said Papa, as they continued on their way, it's very important for us to remember our manners at all times. And I want to thank you, Sister, for reminding me to remember mine. You're very welcome, I'm sure, said Sister Bear politely. The end. Well, that was a good book about manners, saying please and thank you, and you're welcome. And I know you do that. Anyway, that's the end of that story, and I will read again soon. I love you so much, and I will see you again soon. Bye.